Hello everyone, welcome to another painting video. This one is very special to me because, you might think, okay, another painting with flowers or roses, another floral depiction. But for me it was very special because it was the first oil painting with roses that I made. And I just had a really good time with it. I really liked the way it turned out. I really liked the process. I really enjoyed the colors at the end. Sure, there's a lot more that I need to learn, that I need to improve upon, but it was such a very life-affirming and overall wholesome experience. And I wanted to share this with you, and I hope this atmosphere that I felt, this mood that I created with the painting and that I had around the painting that surrounded me at that time is somehow can be extended to you, so that it reaches you at home, wherever you are in the world, whatever you're going through at the moment, whatever your primary focus in life has to be, or whatever you struggle with now. I hope these videos bring you comfort, and I hope this one does as well. Here right now at the moment it's extremely stormy, so there's a strong how would you say it in English, a tempest, I think, going on. There's a lot of stormy passionate impulses that the weather gods send us at this moment, at this time of the year, strangely, because it's still summer officially. I'm in Austria, by the way, so if you didn't know that before, where I'm residing and where I'm living, I'm from Austria. I was born here, I was raised here, and I'm still living here. I'm living in a different part of the country than I used to. It's very, very beautiful, the nature surrounding us, although we just have a very small apartment, right? Me and my wife, very small space, living space. The area surrounding this living space is absolutely wonderful. The infrastructure is wonderful, and so is the nature, the abundance of nature, trees and forests, and there's a river, there's a small stream also, there's beautiful parks with well-tamed flowers and roses, of course, so the inspirational source is not far away. But these days, the last 4 days, I would say 4 or 5 days, it started to rain heavily. Actually, long time ago, right? I think over a week it started to dribble a little bit. Small rain came in, and then it got strong, and I had real trouble with the internet connection. And for those of you who don't know, I'm also teaching online. I'm teaching German online, which takes up a lot of time since a few months, especially. Got more and more work to do. But I have to get some money in some form. So this is about 40 hours per week. I have to teach, prepare the material, which takes about between 12 to 15 hours, and then I'm teaching now up to 30 hours. And additionally, I have to make art, and I want to make art because this is my true passion, right? So I gotta start painting now again because I have a teaching lesson. I have to teach German for an hour now, and then I can start painting again. I continue to paint. And while I was making this now, I would just enhance the flower petals a little bit and the leaves. I was constantly thinking I have no idea what I'm doing. I feel I don't know. I just added a random mix of colors. It felt like that, with red and green and yellow, and making the leaves look absolutely terrible. Absolutely not what I want them to look. But it's okay. I will embrace that imperfect state of the artwork right now, and I will continue to work on it until it looks somewhat decent. But yeah, that's what's going on. What's going through my mind right now is like, this is, yeah, what am I doing? Right, as you look at the artwork and you're like, I have no idea how to do this, and yeah, I'll just come back to it later. So hi again, back at the microphone. Yeah, this was a little typical artist intercut, I would say, like this almost cliched notion of the artist that doesn't know what he's doing, right, or struggling through the process. I had this moment in the painting. I already forgot about it. I only remembered when watching this clip again, because it was like 3-4 weeks ago when I painted this. Yeah, time flies crazily here, especially these days. And yeah, about 4 weeks when I did this painting and recorded it over a course of a few days, I had this moment very shortly, like 1 or 2 days, where it was for some time while working at it, especially in the beginning stages, I was not happy with it at all, and I was like, okay, this is not going anywhere, right? Like you just saw in the clip, I was in this typical mindset of when you start something, when you start on a new painting or a new project and you don't see the results that you're aiming for. It can be frustrating, can be greatly frustrating, but it's just so important to always keep reminding yourself, or keep reminding your friends if they are the ones who struggle with that, right? To really embrace the process, enjoy and savor the process, and not focus too much on the result. Sure, it depends on the craft you're pursuing. If you're an extremely masterful painter, or I don't know, let's say you're doing carpentry, right? And you just have to focus on making the result as perfect as possible. It's a work that demands you to be as precise as you can, working, just a little bit off, a few millimeters off from the line from what you were aiming at is already a mistake, and can be actually a big mistake, because maybe the table is now wonky, or the chair is not now wonky, or some parts, even if it's only embellishments, right, not some functional elements but embellishments, maybe they look off now, and I don't know, it gives you a bad conscience or something. It doesn't matter if it's subjective or intersubjective or objective or whatever you want to call it. You should also, of course, be happy with the result, and even if the process, which is very rare, even if the process is very, very enjoyable and the result sucks, a part of you will usually still be like, okay, this is a good memory, but the result I would do differently, I would change this and that. So usually it's the whole thing, right? The whole gamut of emotions and experiences that converge to this point when you finish something, when you're close to the finishing line, where you can say, okay, this was both the pre-planning process was nice, the inspirational material that I took, or the nature that inspired me to pursue this project was absolutely lovely, was wholesome and in alignment with what I'm aiming to do. The process itself was super enjoyable, and the result looks good, and I'm happy with it, and other people are also enjoying it. So then it's like, of course, wonderful, right? You're leaning back and you're like, that's nice. Now off to the next project with more zest and more motivation. I just struggle a lot with my energy levels, especially these days. I always had that problem. I mentioned it in a different video. But yeah, so for me it's like 80% of the time it's pushing through. Doesn't matter if it's purely work, right? Even if it's things that I fully enjoy, I often struggle with my energy levels. So I have to push myself, right, really physically, because otherwise I'm just too tired or too exhausted. And yes, I'm taking breaks. I'm trying to be gentle on myself. All of these things, right? Self-care is very important. Yeah, but in the end, it's also about what are you aiming to do? What are you aiming to accomplish, and what are you aiming to do with your life, basically. And I just want to be able to say to myself, I tried as much as I can, even on days where it seemed like, oh, there's absolutely no zest for doing any of that, or there's absolutely no energy left. Still trying my best, even if I'm getting done maybe 10% of what I wanted to accomplish. And independent of that, once again, it's also if you have some creative tendencies, or if you have some artsy-fartsy tendencies, then you will know that feeling of it just bubbles up, right? The creativity, it cannot be contained within you for too long, otherwise it gets really uncomfortable. You get depressed, or it feels like you're not doing your purpose. It feels like you're not doing what you're here to do, or you're not doing what you most enjoy, right? This is such a simple dictum, such a simple mantra you can incorporate in your life, and simple and at the same time super complex, right? To really manifest into your reality, to make it part of everyday life, which is just follow your dream, follow your passion as much as you can, and it will lead you to great happiness and fulfillment. And even if there's problems, can be great problems, that are still existing in your reality, that one ingredient that you can choose to follow, or that you can choose to implement in your reality, and where you have a say in how things will unfold, it's basically just keep trying, right? Simple and as cliched and boring this might sound, like just keep trying, even if it doesn't work out always. There will be moments where it works out, and you will be happy that you followed through with that. This is kind of, again, advice for myself. So for everyone out there who's struggling, it's also advice for myself, of course, more than anything, I believe. And this notion of to follow your passion to the point where you cannot follow it anymore, where you cannot conceive of any other possibilities to unfold in that space of passion, in that space of what you really, really love the most, right? And for me, that's painting. For me, that's making music. For me, that's writing. So I have to do that, absolutely. Otherwise, I just feel like, when you have a soda bottle and you shake it, and all these bubbles come up, and it just is contained within it. When you open it, it bursts out, and it's just overflowing. And this can also be extreme. So when you contain your creativity too much within, I think that's actually a problem that we have in this modern world, in this modern society a lot, is that people don't believe in their own creative abilities enough. It's like a part of them wants to believe it, and the inner child is kind of signaling, giving little signals and breadcrumbs here and there, like look, that's what I really want, that's what I'm able to do. But a lot of people don't really believe in their creative ability, which is sad, because I think creativity is a birthright of humanity, and it's not only a birthright. I think it's actually the solution to a lot of problems. It is the solution for for a lot of havoc and problems in the world, I would say. If we would connect, of course, connection with people, love, the ultimate problem solver, and part of love is expressing what you love, and creativity is a form of expression. So when you don't express what you love, it just is being contained within, and it's not healthy, it's not good. I don't think humanity is doing itself a favor. No, it sounds very dramatic, I know, but not doing itself a favor if a large portion of our society is not able to express what they truly love. Now, hate gets very often expressed in unhealthy ways. Sure, it also needs to be expressed, it needs to be channeled into some source, into some alley that can transform it into something constructive. And anger can be. I've been angry many times in my life, especially when I was younger. I struggled a lot with anger in school, or not in school, outside of school. Like, I suppressed it in school because I felt so much shame around anger, the notion of being angry. Oh no, I'm not an angry person, like your consciousness telling you that and giving you shame. So if you're hyper self-reflective and if you're very introverted by nature, and you think about all the things that can be good and bad, right and wrong, right, morally, how they would be viewed morally from the outside or judged, then you project outwards your own judgments, your own critical mind, how other people would see you, and you're trying not to be that person. You're not angry. Don't be that angry person, right? You're telling yourself subconsciously, and I did that in school when I was little, and yeah, up until I was 16, 17, 18. But even before that, I struggled a lot with math. Mathematics was my absolute biggest enemy, I would say, and it brought me a lot of anger, a lot of tears, a lot of feelings of hopelessness and powerlessness. Because underneath all that anger is like this constriction of powerlessness and this not knowing what to do, not knowing how to deal with things that are supposed to be easy for people, right? That's how you're getting it, you're seeing it, how you're being taught by the world. Oh, that's easy, you should be able to know that, right? And if you don't know, you feel stupid and you feel hopeless and powerless. Yeah, and I suppressed it a lot, and then sometimes I just let it out at home when I was looking at my homework, and I don't know, ripped my homework and did it again because it was faulty anyway, and I just was very angry and unhappy while being in school. School was not a nice time. I'm so glad this is over. I'm not one of those people who look back towards the school years and they're like, oh, this was such a nice time. No, I'm super happy. I'm super happy that this is over. I'm relieved that this is over. But yeah, what I want to come back to is like this notion of expression, right? And this is also a part of suppressed expression. And I had to suppress my creativity in school. I felt the need to suppress my true self. My true creative artistic needs could not be met, and I felt always like an outsider. I just want to tell you, if you go through struggles like that, if anyone out there who's going through struggles like that, I just want to say that your creativity is worthy, is valuable, it's needed in society, and it's healing. It's healing to the human soul. And if there's only one message that I want to throw out there into the world, it's this. That creativity is capable to heal the human souls, to heal the human soul. And yeah, if you resonate with that, please feel free to come back to my channel again and to check out my content. I finished painting, and I'm actually really happy how it turned out. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear and read your opinion, and I hope you enjoyed this video.